Before your dream becomes real, it will first test how badly you want it. It will test you with silence. It will test you with doubt. It will test you with people who laugh, leave, misunderstand, and refuse to believe in the future you see so clearly. But listen carefully. The dream was never placed in their heart. It was placed in yours. So if nobody supports you, walk alone. If nobody believes in you, believe even harder. Because the life you are praying for does not begin when the world finally applauds you. It begins the moment you stop waiting for permission and start fighting for the future only you can see. 1. Stop waiting for permission to become great. Most people never begin their real journey because they are waiting for someone to approve their dream. They wait for their family to understand, their friends to support, their situation to become perfect, and the world to finally say, "Now you are ready." But the truth is, greatness does not arrive after permission. Greatness begins the moment you decide that your future is more important than other people's opinions. Not everyone will understand what you are trying to build. Some people will laugh because your dream is bigger than their courage. Some will doubt you because they only see who you are today, not who you are becoming. And some will quietly hope you stay the same because your growth reminds them of their own fear. But your dream was placed inside you, not inside them. That means you cannot keep asking people to believe in a vision they were never meant to carry. If you wait for everyone to support you, you may waste years standing still. Start before they clap, move before they understand, build before they believe. The permission you are waiting for is already inside your own decision. 2. Believe in the vision before the world sees the results. Most people will not believe in your dream at the beginning because they cannot see what you see. They only see your current situation, your empty hands, your slow progress, and your ordinary days. They do not see the fire inside you. They do not see the nights you spend thinking, planning, learning, and trying again when nobody is watching. That is why you must believe in your vision before the world sees the results. If you need proof before you believe, you will never start. Every great life begins as something invisible. Before success becomes visible, it first lives quietly in the mind, in the heart, and in the daily choices of a person who refuses to quit. People respect results, but they rarely respect the process. They clap when the dream is built, but they doubt when it is still under construction. So do not expect everyone to understand your early struggle. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to stay faithful to what you know is possible. Protect your vision, feed it with discipline, build it with patience, and keep going until the life they could not see becomes the proof they cannot deny. 3. Use rejection as fuel, not a funeral. Rejection hurts because it feels like the world is telling you that your dream is not worthy. Someone says no. Someone refuses to help. Someone laughs at your idea. Someone looks at your ambition and treats it like a joke, and for a moment, your heart becomes heavy. You begin to wonder, maybe I am not good enough. Maybe my dream is too big. Maybe I should stop. But rejection is not proof that you should quit. Rejection is proof that your strength is being tested. Every person who says no is not closing your future. Sometimes they are pushing you toward a stronger version of yourself. Sometimes rejection is not the end of the road. It is the fire that burns away your weakness. Do not turn rejection into a funeral for your dream. Turn it into fuel. Let every doubt sharpen your focus. Let every closed door teach you patience. Let every person who refused to believe in you become a reminder that your dream cannot depend on outside approval. The greatest mistake is not being rejected. The greatest mistake is allowing rejection to make you reject yourself. Keep moving, keep learning, keep building. One day the pain that almost broke you will become the power that built you. 4. Work in silence until your life becomes the answer. There is a powerful season in every dreamer's life where talking must stop and building must begin. At first, you want people to understand you. You want to explain your dream, your plan, your pain, and your vision. You want someone to say, "I see it, I believe in you, keep going." But sometimes, the more you explain, the more people doubt. The more you share, the more they question. The more you reveal, the more they try to pull your dream down before it has even grown strong enough to stand. That is why you must learn to work in silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is protection. Silence is focus. Silence is the discipline of a person who has stopped wasting energy on people who only want to argue with their vision. When nobody believes in you, do not spend your life trying to convince them with words. Words are easy, promises are easy, big announcements are easy, but real transformation happens quietly, in the private places where nobody is clapping, nobody is recording, and nobody is praising your effort. It happens when you wake up and do the work, even though your mood is low. It happens when you study while others are wasting time. It happens when you practice again after failing. It happens when you keep improving even when your progress looks invisible. It happens when you choose discipline instead of excuses again and again, until your life slowly begins to change. Most people want the world to respect their dream before they respect their own discipline. They want applause before effort. They want support before consistency. They want people to believe in them before they have even proven to themselves that they can keep going. But if you want to rebuild your life, you must stop needing attention for every step you take. Not every move needs to be announced. Not every plan needs to be shared. Not every sacrifice needs to be explained. Sometimes your dream needs privacy more than it needs approval, because when you talk too much, you invite too many opinions. And too many opinions can weaken a young vision. One person will tell you it is impossible. Another will tell you it is too risky. Another will remind you of your past mistakes. Another will laugh because they cannot imagine you becoming more than what they already know. And if you are not careful, their voices will become louder than your inner calling. So protect your mind, work quietly, build quietly, grow quietly. Let them think nothing is happening. Let them think you have given up. Let them think you are still the same person. Because while they are judging your silence, you are becoming stronger inside it. There is a special power in disappearing from useless noise. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you get your energy back. When you stop trying to prove your dream in conversations, you start proving it through action. When you stop seeking validation, you begin building confidence from your own consistency. And that confidence is different. It is not loud. It is not desperate. It does not need to impress everyone. It is calm because it knows the truth. It knows how many nights you fought through. It knows how many times you wanted to quit but continued. It knows how many silent battles you won when nobody even knew you were struggling. That is the kind of confidence that cannot be faked. Working in silence also teaches you patience, because when nobody is watching, you learn who you really are. You learn whether your dream is real or just something you wanted people to praise. You learn whether your discipline is strong or only alive when others are encouraging you. You learn whether you are willing to build without immediate rewards. This is where most people quit. They can work when people are clapping. They can dream when people are supporting them. They can stay motivated when everyone is watching. But when the room becomes silent, when the results are slow, when nobody notices the effort, they stop. Do not be like them. Become the person who can keep going without applause. Become the person who can stay loyal to the dream even when the world is silent. Become the person who understands that the most important work is often invisible in the beginning. A seed does not make noise while it is growing underground. It does not explain itself to the world. It does not ask the soil for applause. It simply stays rooted, pushes through darkness, and grows in silence until one day, what was hidden becomes impossible to ignore. Your dream is the same. Right now, people may not see your growth. They may not understand your effort. They may not respect your process. But that does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the deepest growth happens before anything changes on the outside. So keep working, keep learning, keep improving. Keep showing up when it feels boring, lonely, and difficult. Every silent day of discipline is building something. Every private sacrifice is shaping your future. Every moment you choose focus over distraction is making you harder to defeat. One day your life will become the answer, not your arguments, not your explanations, not your emotional speeches. Your life, your progress will answer the doubt. Your discipline will answer the laughter. Your results will answer the people who thought you were dreaming too big. And when that day comes, you will not need to speak with anger. You will not need to remind them that they doubted you. You will not need revenge. You will simply stand in the life you built, calm, strong, changed. Because the best answer to people who never believed in you is not noise. It is becoming so focused, so disciplined, and so transformed that your success speaks in a language even your doubters can understand. 5. Keep going when motivation dies. There will be days when the fire inside you does not feel strong. Days when the dream that once made your heart beat faster begins to feel heavy on your shoulders. Days when you wake up tired, look at your progress, and wonder if anything is really changing. This is the moment where most people stop, not because their dream was impossible, not because they had no talent, not because they were not capable. They stop because they depended only on motivation. Motivation is powerful in the beginning. It makes you feel alive. It gives you energy. It makes you imagine your future clearly. It makes you believe that you can change your life. But motivation is also emotional. It rises and falls. Some days it is strong, some days it disappears completely. And if your dream only survives when you feel motivated, then your dream is in danger, because every meaningful goal will eventually take you through a season where motivation dies. The excitement fades, the results come slowly. The people around you still do not believe. The work becomes repetitive, the path feels lonely, and suddenly you are not carried by emotion anymore. You are standing face to face with discipline. This is where your real character begins. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. Anyone can make big promises when their energy is high. Anyone can talk about success when the dream feels fresh and beautiful. But the people who actually change their lives are the ones who keep going after the feeling disappears. They do not wait to feel ready. They do not wait to feel confident. They do not wait for the perfect mood. They understand that progress belongs to the person who shows up anyway. You must learn this deeply. Your future does not care how you feel today. Your future is being shaped by what you choose today. If you choose comfort every time you feel tired, your future will become weak. If you choose excuses every time life feels hard, your dream will slowly lose strength. If you only work when your emotions are high, then your results will always be unstable. But if you learn to move even when motivation is gone, you become dangerous. Because now you are no longer controlled by feelings. You are guided by commitment. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of consistency, but that version cannot be reached by excitement alone. It is reached by doing the work when nobody is watching. It is reached by keeping promises to yourself when nobody would know if you broke them. It is reached by choosing discipline on ordinary days, boring days, painful days, and lonely days. This is why discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation says, I will do it when I feel strong. Discipline says, I will do it because I said I would. Motivation depends on emotion. Discipline depends on identity. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline becomes who you are. When nobody believes in you, discipline becomes your closest friend. It becomes the voice that says, take one more step. It becomes the hand that pulls you forward when your emotions are weak. It becomes the bridge between the life you have and the life you are trying to build. You do not need to feel powerful every day to make progress. You do not need to feel inspired every day to grow. You do not need to feel fearless every day to keep moving. Sometimes progress looks like doing one small thing when everything inside you wants to quit. One page, one workout, one lesson, 1 hour of focus, one more attempt, one more honest effort. It may look small in the moment, but small actions repeated with discipline become massive changes over time. The problem is that most people disrespect small progress. They think if they cannot make a huge move, then it is not worth moving at all. So they stop. They wait for a better day. They wait for more energy. They wait for another wave of motivation. But while they are waiting, time is passing, and time does not wait for anyone. You must stop thinking that every step needs to feel dramatic. Some of the most important steps of your life will feel ordinary. They will not come with music. They will not come with applause. They will not feel exciting, but they will matter. The quiet days matter. The boring days matter. The days when you still show up with a tired mind matter. The days when you feel invisible but keep building matter. Because success is not created in one powerful moment. It is created through thousands of small decisions that most people never see. Every time you keep going, when motivation dies, you teach your mind a new truth. You teach it that tired does not mean finished. You teach it that slow does not mean failure. You teach it that doubt does not mean stop. You teach it that emotions are visitors, but discipline is home. This is how you become strong, not by never feeling weak, but by refusing to let weakness lead your life. There will be moments when you question everything. You may look at other people and feel like they are moving faster. You may feel behind. You may feel forgotten. You may feel like your dream is taking too long. You may wonder why your effort has not paid off yet. But understand this, a delay is not always a denial. Slow growth is still growth. Invisible progress is still progress. Just because the results have not arrived does not mean your work is wasted. Sometimes your dream is growing roots before it grows branches. And roots are not seen. Roots grow in the dark. Roots grow under pressure. Roots grow quietly. But without roots, nothing strong can stand. So do not curse the season where nobody sees your progress. That season may be building the foundation that will carry your future. Keep going, even when the dream feels far, even when your energy is low, even when people still doubt you, even when you are tired of starting again, especially then, because the moment you continue without motivation, you prove that your dream is not just a feeling. You prove that it is a commitment. You prove that you are not chasing it because it is easy. You are chasing it because it matters. You must become the kind of person who does not negotiate with every mood. A bad mood cannot cancel your future. A lazy feeling cannot control your destiny. A tired morning cannot decide the rest of your life. You are allowed to feel exhausted, but you are not allowed to abandon yourself. You are allowed to feel discouraged, but you are not allowed to bury your dream because of one difficult season. You are allowed to move slowly, but you are not allowed to stop completely. This is the secret. When motivation dies, lower the noise and return to the promise. Return to the reason you started. Return to the life you said you wanted. Return to the pain you promised yourself you would escape. Return to the future version of you who is waiting for you to become serious. And then take the next step. Not a perfect step, not a dramatic step, just the next step. Because one step repeated becomes a path. One disciplined day repeated becomes a new identity. One promise kept again and again becomes self-respect. And once you build self-respect, your life begins to change from the inside. You stop begging yourself to work. You stop waiting for the right mood. You stop needing people to push you. You become your own standard. You become your own reason. You become the kind of person who continues because quitting no longer feels like an option. And when people see your results later, they will think something magical happened. They will think you were lucky. They will think you suddenly changed. They will not understand the private war you fought with your own weakness. They will not know about the mornings you wanted to sleep, but got up anyway. They will not know about the nights you wanted to quit, but continued anyway. They will not know about the days you felt empty but still did the work. They will only see the final version, but you will know the truth. You were built in the days when motivation was gone. You were shaped in the moments when nobody clapped. You became powerful because you kept moving when your feelings stopped supporting you. So when motivation dies, do not panic. That is not the end. That is the beginning of discipline. That is the beginning of real growth. That is the beginning of the person your dream has been waiting for. Keep going, not because it always feels good, but because your future is too important to be controlled by temporary emotions. Keep going until your discipline becomes stronger than your doubt. Keep going until your habits become stronger than your excuses. Keep going until the dream that once felt impossible becomes the life you are finally living. 6. Let their doubt make you more dangerous. When people doubt you, the first pain you feel is not anger, it is disappointment. Because deep inside, you hoped they would see something in you. You hoped they would understand why this dream matters so much. You hoped they would say, "I believe in you, keep going, you can do this." But instead, they looked at your dream like it was too big for you. They looked at your ambition like it was a mistake. They looked at your future like it did not belong to someone from your background, your situation, your past, or your current level. And that kind of doubt can hurt deeply. It can make you feel alone in a room full of people. It can make you question the dream you were once so sure about. It can make you look at yourself through their eyes and wonder, maybe they are right. Maybe I am not the person who can do this. But listen carefully. Their doubt is not always a sign that you are wrong. Sometimes their doubt is a sign that your vision is bigger than their imagination. Some people can only believe in what already exists. They cannot believe in what is being built. They can respect a finished house, but they laugh at the empty land. They can admire the successful person, but they criticize the beginner. They can celebrate the result, but they do not understand the process. So when they doubt you at the beginning, do not let it destroy you. Let it train you. Let it sharpen you. Let it make you more dangerous. Not dangerous in a cruel way, dangerous in a focused way. Dangerous because you no longer waste energy begging to be understood. Dangerous because you stop needing approval before you move. Dangerous because you learn how to turn pain into power, silence into strength, and doubt into discipline. The person who becomes dangerous is not the loudest person in the room. It is the person who has been doubted so many times that they no longer need applause to continue. That is real strength, because when nobody believes in you, you are forced to build a belief that comes from within. You are forced to stand without emotional support. You are forced to decide whether your dream is truly yours or only something you wanted people to praise, and that moment reveals everything. If your dream disappears because people laughed, it was not strong enough yet. If your discipline dies because people doubted, it was not rooted deeply enough yet. But if their doubt makes you more focused, more serious, more consistent, and more committed, then their doubt becomes fuel. It becomes pressure, and pressure creates the version of you that comfort never could. Think about it. If everyone supported you from the beginning, you might have become soft. You might have depended on their encouragement. You might have needed constant praise to keep going. You might have believed that motivation comes from outside voices. But because they doubted you, you had to become stronger from the inside. Because they did not clap, you had to learn how to clap for yourself. Because they did not help, you had to learn how to move alone. Because they did not believe, you had to build belief with your own hands. That is why doubt can become a gift if you know how to use it. Most people use doubt as an excuse to stop. You must use it as a reason to rise. When they say, "You cannot do it," do not argue. Work. When they say, "This is impossible," do not explain. Improve. When they say, "You are wasting your time," do not defend yourself. Build. Because every minute you spend trying to convince doubters is a minute stolen from your dream. You cannot build a powerful future while arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding your vision. Some people do not doubt you because they have wisdom. They doubt you because they have fear. They see your courage and it reminds them of the risks they never took. They see your hunger and it reminds them of the dreams they buried. They see you trying to change and it makes them uncomfortable because your growth challenges the identity they attach to you. They liked you when you were predictable. They liked you when you were easy to understand. They liked you when your life did not make them question their own. But the moment you start reaching for something greater, they may try to pull you back. Not always with hate, sometimes with concern, sometimes with jokes, sometimes with quiet discouragement, sometimes with sentences that sound innocent, but carry poison inside them. Be realistic. People like us do not make it. Why are you trying so hard? What if you fail? You have changed. Yes, you have changed. And that is the point. You are supposed to change. You are supposed to outgrow the mindset that kept you stuck. You are supposed to become uncomfortable with the old version of yourself. You are supposed to become disciplined enough that your excuses begin to feel embarrassing. You are supposed to become so focused that people who live without purpose no longer understand you. That does not mean you hate them. It means you are growing beyond the level where their doubt can control you. There is a quiet moment when a dreamer stops needing people to understand. That moment is powerful, because before that, every doubtful comment feels like a wound. Every negative opinion slows you down. Every lack of support feels personal. You keep checking the faces around you to see if they believe yet. But after that moment, something changes. You stop looking for permission in their reactions. You stop trying to make your dreams sound acceptable to small minds. You stop explaining your fire to people who only understand comfort. You stop shrinking your vision just so others can feel comfortable around you. And that is when you become dangerous, because now you are free, free from the need to be liked, free from the need to be understood, free from the need to be supported by people who never had the courage to build what you are building. Now their doubt does not stop you. It activates you. Every time they underestimate you, it reminds you to go harder. Every time they ignore you, it reminds you to focus deeper. Every time they laugh, it reminds you that your results must become louder than their opinions. But be careful. Do not let doubt turn you into a bitter person. Bitterness wastes energy. Anger without direction burns you from the inside. Revenge can distract you from the real prize. Your goal is not to spend your life proving people wrong. Your goal is to prove yourself right. There is a difference. If your entire journey is built on revenge, then your doubters are still controlling you. You are still moving because of them. You are still measuring your life by their reaction. But if your journey is built on purpose, then even their doubt becomes smaller than your vision. Use their doubt, but do not worship it. Let it push you, but do not let it poison you. Let it remind you, but do not let it define you. You are not building your dream just to shock people who laughed. You are building it because your life deserves more. You are building it because your future is calling. You are building it because there is a version of you that will never be born if you keep surrendering to fear. So become focused, become calm, become disciplined, become the kind of person who does not need to announce pain because they are too busy turning it into progress. When someone doubts you, ask yourself a simple question. Can I use this? Can I use this doubt to wake up earlier? Can I use this criticism to study harder? Can I use this rejection to become sharper? Can I use this loneliness to become more focused? Can I use this pain to become stronger than I was yesterday? If the answer is yes, then they did not defeat you. They trained you. Every great dreamer must learn emotional alchemy. That means taking something painful and turning it into something powerful. Take the insult and turn it into discipline. Take the rejection and turn it into focus. Take the laughter and turn it into consistency. Take the loneliness and turn it into self-mastery. Take the doubt and turn it into a fire so strong that quitting no longer feels like an option. This is how you grow, not by avoiding pain, but by refusing to waste it. Most people waste pain. They complain about it, they replay it, they let it make them weak, they let it become a story about why they cannot move forward. But a serious person uses pain. A serious person says, "This hurt me, but it will not stop me. This broke something in me, but it will also build something stronger. This showed me who did not believe, but it also showed me that I must believe harder." That mindset changes everything, because once you learn to use doubt, nobody can easily defeat you. If they support you, you move. If they doubt you, you move. If they clap, you move. If they laugh, you move. If they understand, you move. If they misunderstand, you move. Now your progress is no longer controlled by other people's behavior. That is power. The strongest dreamer is not the one who never hears doubt. It is the one who hears doubt and still continues. It is the one who walks into a room where nobody believes in them and still carries themselves like their future is already real. It is the one who can be laughed at today and still work like tomorrow belongs to them. It is the one who can lose support without losing direction. This is the kind of person you must become, because the path to your dream will not always be filled with encouragement. Sometimes you will have to walk while people question you. Sometimes you will have to keep building while people misunderstand you. Sometimes you will have to remain committed while others secretly expect you to fail. Let them expect whatever they want. Their expectation is not your destiny. Their opinion is not your limit. Their doubt is not a prophecy. You are allowed to become more than what they imagined for you. You are allowed to outgrow the version of you they are comfortable with. You are allowed to shock people with your transformation. But first, you must stop carrying their doubt like it belongs to you. A doubtful person can hand you a heavy sentence, but you decide whether to carry it. They can say, you cannot, but you decide whether that becomes your belief. They can say, it is too late, but you decide whether that becomes your excuse. They can say, you are not enough, but you decide whether that becomes your identity. Do not accept every opinion as truth. Some opinions are just fear wearing confidence. Some criticism is just jealousy wearing honesty. Some advice is just limitation wearing concern. You must learn the difference, because if you listen to every voice, you will lose your own. Your dream needs your voice to be stronger than their doubt. It needs you to wake up and say, I am still going. It needs you to look at your slow progress and say, I am still building. It needs you to face rejection and say, I am still worthy. It needs you to stand in lonely seasons and say, I am still chosen by my own commitment. That is how you become unstoppable. Not overnight, not through one emotional decision, but through repeated moments where you refuse to give your power away. Every time you continue after being doubted, you become harder to break. Every time you work after being laughed at, you become more serious. Every time you improve after being rejected, you become more prepared, and slowly the person they doubted begins to disappear. A new person begins to rise. A person with sharper focus, a person with thicker skin, a person with deeper patience, a person with quiet confidence, a person who does not need to be supported by everyone because they have learned to support themselves. And when that person rises, people will feel the difference. They may not say it, but they will feel it. They will notice that you no longer react the same way. They will notice that their words do not control your mood like before. They will notice that you are not begging for validation anymore. They will notice that you have become calm in a way they cannot explain. That calmness is dangerous because it means your dream is no longer fragile. It means your identity is no longer dependent on approval. It means you have stopped living as someone who needs permission to become great. Now understand this clearly. There is no need to hate the people who doubted you. Some of them simply could not see far enough. Some of them judged you based on who you used to be. Some of them were speaking from fear, not truth. And some of them were sent into your life to reveal whether you were serious. So do not carry hatred. Carry lessons. Do not carry bitterness. Carry discipline. Do not carry revenge. Carry results. Let your life become the answer. Let your growth become the response. Let your consistency become the proof. Because the most powerful revenge is not shouting back. It is becoming so transformed that the old judgment no longer fits you. One day, the same people who doubted you may look at your life and wonder when everything changed. They will not see the full story. They will not see the silent mornings. They will not see the nights you fought your own fear. They will not see how many times their doubt almost broke you. They will only see the result. But you will know that every doubtful word became fuel. You will know that every person who underestimated you made you train harder. You will know that every lonely season forced you to become your own support. You will know that you did not become powerful because life was easy. You became powerful because you refused to let doubt decide your future. So from this moment forward, when someone doubts you, do not collapse. Stand taller. When they laugh, do not shrink. Focus deeper. When they say you cannot, do not argue. Become better. Let their doubt enter your life as raw material and leave your life as discipline. Let it become the energy behind your early mornings. Let it become the reason you do one more page, one more rep, one more hour, one more attempt. Let it make you hungry, but not hateful. Let it make you serious, but not bitter. Let it make you dangerous, but not cruel. Dangerous in your focus, dangerous in your patience, dangerous in your self-belief, dangerous in your refusal to quit. Because when a person no longer needs the world to believe before they begin, that person becomes rare. When a person can turn doubt into discipline, pain into purpose, and rejection into growth, that person becomes powerful. And when a person keeps building while nobody believes, they eventually become the proof that belief was never supposed to come from the crowd. It was supposed to come from within. So let them doubt, let them misunderstand, let them underestimate, let them sleep on your potential. You keep working, you keep growing, you keep becoming, because one day the dream they laughed at will become the life you live. And the person they doubted will become the person they can no longer ignore. 7. Become the person your dream requires. A dream does not only ask you to want more, a dream asks you to become more. This is where many people misunderstand success. They think the dream is only about reaching a destination. They think it is about money, recognition, freedom, respect, or proving that they were right. But the truth is deeper than that. Your dream is not just something you chase. Your dream is something that changes you while you chase it. It will not allow you to stay the same. It will not allow you to keep every weak habit. It will not allow you to carry the same excuses, the same fears, the same laziness, the same distractions, and still expect a powerful life. Because the life you are asking for requires a different version of you, a stronger version, a more disciplined version, a more patient version, a version that stops making promises only when emotions are high, a version that does not quit every time the path becomes uncomfortable, a version that understands that success is not given to the person who dreams the loudest, but to the person who changes the deepest. This is why you must stop asking only, how do I achieve my dream? Start asking, who must I become to deserve this dream? That question changes everything, because your dream has requirements. It requires focus. It requires sacrifice. It requires emotional control. It requires patience when nothing is moving fast. It requires discipline when nobody is watching. It requires courage when nobody believes. It requires you to break your relationship with the weak version of yourself. And that is not easy, because the old you will not disappear without a fight. The old you loves comfort. The old you loves excuses. The old you wants big results without difficult changes. The old you wants to be supported, praised, understood, and encouraged before taking action. The old you wants to feel ready before beginning. The old you wants success, but does not want the pressure that comes with becoming successful. So when you start chasing your dreams seriously, you will feel resistance inside yourself. Not just from other people, from you. One part of you will want to rise. Another part of you will want to stay where life feels familiar. One part of you will want discipline. Another part will whisper, start tomorrow. One part of you will see the future clearly. Another part will drag you back into old habits. This inner battle is the real battlefield. Before you defeat doubt from the outside, you must defeat weakness from the inside. Because it does not matter how big your dream is if your habits are too small to carry it. It does not matter how powerful your vision is if your daily choices keep betraying it. It does not matter how badly you want a new life if you keep protecting the old identity that created your current one. You cannot become a new person while obeying the same old patterns. At some point you must decide, do you want comfort or do you want growth? Do you want excuses or do you want results? Do you want to be understood by everyone? Or do you want to become someone your future self can respect? Do you want to keep talking about your dream, or do you want to become the person who can actually build it? This decision is not made once. It is made every day. It is made when your alarm rings and your body wants to stay in bed. It is made when your friends invite you into distractions, but your future needs your focus. It is made when nobody checks on your progress, but you still choose to work. It is made when results are slow, but you refuse to quit. It is made when your mind says, "This is too hard," and your spirit answers, "But my future is worth it." That is how the new you is built, not through one emotional moment, not through one motivational video, not through one perfect plan. The new you is built through repeated decisions that prove you are serious. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build the new you. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you build the new you. Every time you choose courage over fear, you build the new you. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build the new you, and slowly your identity begins to change. At first, discipline feels painful. Then it feels normal. Then it becomes who you are. At first, focus feels difficult. Then it feels peaceful. Then distractions begin to feel like disrespect. At first, growth feels lonely. Then it feels powerful. Then you realize the loneliness was not punishment. It was preparation, because your dream cannot be carried by the version of you that needs constant comfort. A bigger life requires a bigger character. If you want a dream that most people will never reach, you must be willing to do what most people avoid. You must be willing to say no when everyone else says yes to weakness. You must be willing to keep learning when others think they already know enough. You must be willing to work while others are only talking. You must be willing to stand alone when support is missing. That is the price. And every dream has a price. The question is not whether your dream is possible. The question is whether you are willing to pay the price required to become the person who can live it. Some people say they want success, but they refuse to change their schedule. Some people say they want greatness, but they still protect their excuses. Some people say they want a new life, but they continue feeding the habits that keep them in the old one. They want the reward, but not the responsibility. They want the harvest, but not the planting. They want the respect, but not the discipline. They want the dream, but not the transformation. But life does not work like that. You cannot cheat becoming. You cannot skip the inner work. You cannot avoid the process and still expect the result. The dream will test you because it must know whether you are serious. It will test your patience through delay. It will test your focus through distraction. It will test your confidence through doubt. It will test your discipline through boredom. It will test your courage through fear. It will test your hunger through rejection. It will test your identity by asking you to keep going even when the old you wants to return. And every test is shaping you. Every hard season is showing you what still needs to be strengthened. Every failure is teaching you where your foundation is weak. Every delay is forcing you to develop patience. Every lonely night is teaching you how to stand without depending on applause. So stop seeing difficulty as proof that you are not meant for your dream. Difficulty may be the training ground that prepares you to carry it. A weak person cannot handle a strong future. A distracted person cannot protect a powerful dream. An undisciplined person cannot sustain success. That is why the process must change you before the result reaches you. If success came too early, it might destroy you. If recognition came before discipline, it might make you arrogant. If money came before wisdom, it might expose your weakness. If opportunity came before preparation, you might waste it. So sometimes life delays the dream not to punish you, but to prepare the version of you that can handle it. You may think nothing is happening, but something is happening inside you. You are becoming more patient. You are becoming more serious. You are becoming more aware of your weaknesses. You are learning what distracts you. You are learning what drains you. You are learning who cannot come with you. You are learning that your future requires standards, and standards change everything. When you become the person your dream requires, you stop living randomly. You stop giving your best energy to things that do not build your future. You stop entertaining conversations that weaken your focus. You stop chasing people who do not respect your growth. You stop making excuses for habits that are secretly destroying your potential. You stop saying yes to everything because you understand that every yes has a cost. Every distraction costs focus. Every excuse costs progress. Every lazy day costs momentum. Every toxic environment costs energy. Every fear-based decision costs a piece of your future. So you begin to live differently, not because you think you are better than people, but because you finally understand that your dream needs protection. You protect it with your schedule. You protect it with your habits. You protect it with your boundaries. You protect it with your silence. You protect it with your discipline. You protect it by refusing to become available for everything that pulls you away from who you are becoming. This is where people may misunderstand you. They may say you have changed. They may say you are too serious. They may say you are acting different. They may say you are not the same anymore. And they are right. You are not the same. That is the entire point. You cannot keep being the same and expect a completely different life. You cannot carry a new destiny with an old mindset. You cannot build a future while staying emotionally loyal to the version of you that kept delaying the work. So let them notice the change. Let them be confused by your focus. Let them be uncomfortable with your growth. Let them miss the old version of you who was easier to distract, easier to discourage, and easier to control. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming committed. You are not becoming selfish. You are becoming responsible for your future. You are not abandoning people. You are refusing to abandon yourself. And sometimes that is exactly what growth looks like. Growth often feels like separation, not always from people, sometimes from habits, sometimes from mindsets, sometimes from the need to be liked, sometimes from the old stories you kept telling yourself. I am not ready. I am not talented enough. I started too late. I do not have support. I always fail. People like me cannot make it. These stories must die, because as long as you keep repeating them, you will keep living inside them. The person your dream requires does not speak to themselves like a victim every day. They do not deny pain, but they do not worship it. They do not ignore obstacles, but they do not bow to them. They do not pretend everything is easy, but they refuse to make difficulty their identity. They understand that words shape direction, so they speak differently. I am learning. I am building. I am becoming. I am not finished. I can improve. I can start again. I can do hard things. I will not quit on myself. This language matters because it trains your mind to move forward. But words are only the beginning. Your actions must agree with your new identity. You cannot say, I am becoming disciplined, and then break every promise to yourself. You cannot say, I want greatness, and then live like your time has no value. You cannot say, my dream matters, and then give your attention to everything except the work required to build it. At some point, your life must become evidence of your desire. That means your routine must change. Your choices must change. Your environment must change. Your standards must change. Your relationship with discomfort must change. Because the person your dream requires is not built in comfort. They are built through choosing the harder right thing over the easier wrong thing. They are built through doing the work when feelings are weak. They are built through facing the truth instead of hiding behind excuses. They are built through repetition. Repetition is not glamorous, but it is powerful. You do not become strong by doing something once. You become strong by returning again and again. You return after failure. You return after disappointment. You return after a slow week. You return after losing motivation. You return after people doubt you. You return after your own mind tells you to stop. That return is what separates dreamers from builders. Dreamers feel inspired. Builders return. Dreamers imagine the future. Builders create it one disciplined day at a time. Dreamers talk about what they want. Builders become the kind of person who can hold what they ask for. So ask yourself honestly, are you only dreaming or are you becoming? Because becoming has evidence. Becoming looks like sacrifice. Becoming looks like consistency. Becoming looks like emotional control. Becoming looks like taking responsibility instead of blaming everyone. Becoming looks like choosing the future even when the present offers comfort. Becoming looks like doing things your old self would avoid, and yes, it will feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is not always a warning sign. Sometimes discomfort is the feeling of your old identity being stretched. Sometimes discomfort means you are entering a level your old habits cannot survive. Sometimes discomfort means you are finally growing beyond the version of yourself that kept you small. Do not run from that feeling. Respect it. Growth will not always feel peaceful at first. Sometimes it will feel like losing who you used to be. Sometimes it will feel like being misunderstood. Sometimes it will feel like walking without proof. Sometimes it will feel like being alone with a vision nobody else can see. But if you keep going, the pain begins to transform. What once felt difficult becomes normal. What once scared you becomes part of your strength. What once tempted you begins to lose power. What once controlled you becomes something you have outgrown. That is the reward of becoming. You do not just get closer to your dream, you become less controlled by the things that used to stop you. Fear loses authority. Doubt loses volume. Distraction loses beauty. Excuses lose comfort. And your future begins to feel more real than your past. This is when your dream starts pulling you forward. Not because the road becomes easy, but because you are stronger now. The same challenges that once would have broken you now only sharpen you. The same criticism that once would have silenced you now only reminds you to focus. The same loneliness that once felt like punishment now feels like sacred preparation. You begin to understand that nobody was coming to carry the dream for you. Nobody was coming to become disciplined for you. Nobody was coming to fight your fears for you. Nobody was coming to build your life while you stayed comfortable. It had to be you. It always had to be you. And that truth is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to awaken you. Because once you understand that you are responsible for becoming, you stop waiting. You stop waiting for support. You stop waiting for perfect timing. You stop waiting for confidence. You stop waiting for people to understand. You stop waiting for life to become easy. You begin now with what you have, where you are, as imperfect as you are. That is how every powerful transformation begins. Not with perfection, with responsibility. You take responsibility for your focus. You take responsibility for your habits. You take responsibility for your attitude. You take responsibility for your healing. You take responsibility for your growth. You take responsibility for your future. And when you stop blaming everyone else for what you have not built yet, your power returns. Blame may feel comforting for a moment, but it steals your control. Responsibility may feel heavy at first, but it gives your control back. The person your dream requires does not waste their life saying, "They did not support me." They say, "I will support myself through discipline." They do not say, "Nobody believed in me." They say, "Then I will believe harder." They do not say, "Life was unfair to me." They say, "Then I will become stronger than my circumstances." They do not deny pain. They just refuse to let pain become the end of their story. That is maturity. That is strength. That is the mindset of someone who is ready to rise. And as you become this person, you will begin to notice something powerful. Your dream will no longer feel like a fantasy. It will feel like a responsibility. You will stop treating it like something you hope happens one day. You will treat it like something you are building today. Your actions will become more serious. Your time will become more valuable. Your mind will become more focused. Your standards will become higher. You will begin to respect the dream enough to stop betraying it with weak choices. That is when transformation becomes real. Not when you feel inspired, but when you start living like your future matters. And your future does matter, even if nobody sees it yet, even if nobody supports it yet, even if nobody understands why you keep going. Your future matters because you matter. Your dream matters because it is connected to the person you are capable of becoming. There is a version of you that will never exist if you quit now. A stronger version, a calmer version, a wiser version, a version with confidence that was earned, not borrowed. A version with peace that came from self-respect. A version with strength that was built through lonely seasons. A version with a life that proves what discipline can do. That version is waiting for you, but you cannot reach them by staying loyal to the old you. The old you must be challenged. The old you must be trained. The old you must be corrected. And in some ways, the old you must be left behind. Not because the old you was worthless. The old you survived. The old you carried pain. The old you made it this far. But the old you cannot take you all the way into the future you are asking for. So thank the old version for surviving. Then stop letting that version lead. You need a new leader inside you now. One who chooses discipline. One who chooses courage. One who chooses responsibility. One who chooses growth. One who can walk without applause and still keep moving. One who can be doubted and still stay focused. One who can fall and still return. One who can feel fear and still act. That is the person your dream requires. Become that person slowly. Become that person daily. Become that person through the small choices nobody sees. Do not wait for a perfect day to begin. Begin with one better decision, then another, then another. Wake up and do one thing that proves you are serious. Remove one distraction. Keep one promise. Study one lesson. Practice one skill. Take one step. Improve one habit. Make one decision your future self will thank you for. This is how you rebuild yourself. Not all at once, but piece by piece, choice by choice, day by day. And if you fall back, do not turn one mistake into a full surrender. Return quickly. Do not let shame keep you on the ground. Do not say, I failed, so I am finished. Say, I failed, so I am learning. Then stand up again. The person your dream requires is not someone who never falls. It is someone who refuses to stay fallen. That refusal is power. That return is discipline. That persistence is the proof that your dream is alive. So keep becoming. When support is missing, keep becoming. When results are slow, keep becoming. When motivation fades, keep becoming. When rejection hurts, keep becoming. When doubt gets loud, keep becoming. Because one day, the work you are doing in silence will show. One day, the habits you are building will speak. One day, the discipline you are developing will open doors your old self could never enter. And when that day comes, you will understand why the process had to be hard. It was not just building your dream, it was building you. The pressure was building your patience. The rejection was building your strength. The loneliness was building your independence. The doubt was building your belief. The discipline was building your identity. And the dream was pulling you into a version of yourself that comfort never could have created. So do not only fight for the dream, fight for the person the dream is asking you to become. Fight for the disciplined you. Fight for the focused you. Fight for the courageous you. Fight for the future you who looks back and says, thank you for not quitting. Because the real victory is not only that you reached the dream. The real victory is that you became someone stronger on the way. You became someone who no longer needs everyone to believe before you begin. You became someone who can protect their vision. You became someone who can survive rejection. You became someone who can work in silence. You became someone who can continue after motivation dies. You became someone who can turn doubt into fuel. And now, you are becoming the person your dream always required. This is the final truth. Your dream is not waiting for the world to support you. Your dream is waiting for you to become serious. Your dream is not waiting for perfect timing. It is waiting for disciplined action. Your dream is not waiting for your fear to disappear. It is waiting for your courage to rise anyway. Your dream is not waiting for people to believe. It is waiting for you to believe so deeply that their doubt becomes powerless. So stand up inside your own life. Stop living like your future is optional. Stop treating your potential like something you can waste forever. Stop giving your best energy to things that will not matter in 5 years. Stop waiting for someone to rescue the version of you that only your discipline can save. Become the person your dream requires. Become the person who keeps going when nobody claps. Become the person who works when nobody understands. Become the person who chooses growth when comfort is calling. Become the person who refuses to let an old identity destroy a new future. And when the journey becomes hard, Remember this, you are not being buried, you are being built. You are not falling behind. You are being prepared. You are not losing yourself. You are losing the version of you that was never strong enough to carry where you are going. Keep fighting. Keep building. Keep becoming. Because the dream inside you was never meant to be carried by the old you. It was meant to awaken the person you were born to become. 8. Fight until the life you prayed for becomes real. There comes a point in your journey where dreaming is no longer enough. You have imagined the life. You have felt the desire. You have seen the vision in your mind so many times that it almost feels real. But now life asks you a serious question. Are you only in love with the dream, or are you willing to fight for the reality? Because there is a big difference between wanting a better life and building one. Anyone can want success. Anyone can imagine greatness. Anyone can talk about discipline when the mood is high. Anyone can say, one day I will become more. But the person who truly changes is the person who takes that dream out of imagination and brings it into daily action. That is where the real fight begins. Not in your words, not in your wishes, not in the version of yourself you post for the world to see. The real fight begins in the private moments where nobody can save you from your own choices. It begins when you are tired, but the work is still waiting. It begins when you feel discouraged, but your future still needs effort. It begins when nobody believes in you, nobody supports you, nobody understands you, and still, something inside your chest whispers, keep going. That whisper matters. Do not ignore it. That whisper is the part of you that has not surrendered. That whisper is the part of you that knows you were not born to stay stuck. That whisper is the part of you that still believes there is more life ahead of you than the pain behind you. And if you listen to it long enough, it becomes louder than fear. You must understand this clearly. The life you prayed for will not arrive by accident. It will not be delivered to the version of you that keeps avoiding responsibility. It will not be built by the version of you that only works when it feels easy. It will not be carried by the version of you that gives up every time the world becomes silent. The life you prayed for will require you to fight. Fight your excuses. Fight your laziness. Fight your distractions. Fight your fear of being judged. Fight your need for approval. Fight your old identity. Fight the voice inside you that says, maybe this is all I can become. Because that voice is lying. You are not finished. You are not too late. You are not too weak. You are not too ordinary. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the rejection you faced. You are not the people who doubted you. You are not the version of yourself that almost quit. You are the person who can still rise. But rising will cost you something. It will cost you the comfort of staying the same. It will cost you the habit of blaming everything outside yourself. It will cost you the false peace of low standards. It will cost you the distractions you used to hide from your own potential. It will cost you the old life that kept you comfortable but empty. And this is why many people never become who they were meant to become. They want change, but they do not want loss. They want growth, but they do not want discomfort. They want a new identity, but they keep protecting old habits. They want the dream, but they do not want the death of the weak version of themselves. But you cannot enter a new life while carrying everything that belongs to the old one. Something must be released. Something must be sacrificed. Something must be outgrown. You cannot keep feeding distractions and expect focus to grow. You cannot keep making excuses and expect confidence to grow. You cannot keep breaking promises to yourself and expect self-respect to grow. You cannot keep living without discipline and expect your dream to respect you. Your future is watching your habits. Your dream is listening to your choices. Your life is responding to what you repeat. So if you want a different life, you must become loyal to different actions. Not for one day, not for 1 week, not only when motivation is alive, but again and again, until discipline becomes normal. This is the part most people never understand. The fight for your dream is not always dramatic. It is not always a big emotional moment. Sometimes the fight looks simple. Waking up when your old self wants to stay in bed, opening the book when your mind wants entertainment, saving money when your impulse wants to spend, practicing when nobody is watching, choosing silence when you want to complain, walking away from people who keep pulling you backward, doing one more hour of work when your excuse is allowed, returning after failure instead of disappearing in shame. These moments may look small, but they are not small. They are the hidden bricks of your future. Every small disciplined action is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every time you choose the harder right thing, you weaken the old version of yourself. Every time you keep going when it would be easier to quit, you prove that your dream still has a fighter. And over time, those quiet victories become visible results. People will not see the beginning. They will not see the inner battles. They will not see the mornings when you had no energy but still showed up. They will not see the nights when doubt sat beside you and you kept working anyway. They will not see the moments when you wanted to disappear but chose to rebuild yourself instead. But you will know what it took. You will know what you had to overcome. You will know how many times you had to choose the future over the comfort of the present. And that knowledge will give you a kind of confidence nobody can give and nobody can take away. Because confidence built through struggle is different. It is not loud. It is not fake. It is not dependent on compliments. It does not need to prove itself every minute. It simply knows. It knows the pain you survived. It knows the promises you kept. It knows the discipline you built. It knows the battles you fought in silence. That kind of confidence changes the way you walk through life. You stop begging people to understand your dream. You stop explaining your ambition to people who already decided to doubt you. You stop shrinking your goals to make others comfortable. You stop asking the world to validate what your discipline is already proving. You become calm, and calm ambition is powerful because you are no longer moving from panic. You are moving from purpose. You are no longer chasing approval. You are building a life. You are no longer trying to look successful. You are becoming someone who cannot be denied. This is what happens when you fight long enough. You stop being controlled by every emotion. You stop letting every bad day destroy your momentum. You stop letting every rejection become a reason to quit. You stop letting every doubtful voice become the ruler of your mind. You develop inner authority. Inner authority means you can feel fear and still move. You can feel tired and still show up. You can feel lonely and still continue. You can feel misunderstood and still trust the path. You can feel pain and still choose progress. That is power, not because life becomes easy, but because you become stronger than the temporary emotions trying to stop you. And there will be many emotions trying to stop you. Fear will come. Fear will say, what if you fail? Doubt will come. Doubt will say, what if they were right about you? Shame will come. Shame will say, look how many times you already started and stopped. Comparison will come. Comparison will say, others are ahead of you, why even try? Fatigue will come. Fatigue will say, rest forever. This is too hard. But you must answer with action, not arguments. Action. When fear speaks, take one step. When doubt speaks, do one task. When shame speaks, return to the work. When comparison speaks, focus on your lane. When fatigue speaks, rest with discipline, then rise again. You do not defeat these voices by thinking forever. You defeat them by proving, through action, that they do not own you. Your mind may create excuses, but your actions can create freedom. Every time you act despite fear, fear loses authority. Every time you work despite doubt, doubt becomes weaker. Every time you return after failure, shame loses power. Every time you focus on your own path, comparison becomes less important, and slowly you become someone who cannot be easily stopped. Not because you have no weakness, but because weakness no longer makes your decisions. That is the goal. You are not trying to become a person who never feels pain. You are trying to become a person who does not abandon the dream because of pain. You are not trying to become a person who never feels doubt. You are trying to become a person who can carry doubt and still walk forward. You are not trying to become a person who never fails. You are trying to become a person who turns failure into correction instead of identity. This is how the life you prayed for becomes real. Not by magic, not by luck, not by waiting until everything feels perfect. It becomes real when you start treating your future like a responsibility. When you stop saying, one day, and start asking, what can I do today? That question is powerful because one day can become a hiding place. One day I will change. One day I will start. One day I will become disciplined. One day I will prove them wrong. One day I will build my dream. But one day is dangerous if it never becomes today. Your future is not built in one day. It is built today, and then tomorrow, and then the day after. Your dream does not need a perfect version of you. It needs an honest version of you who is willing to begin. Begin with the small step. Begin with the imperfect action. Begin with the simple discipline. Begin with the decision that you will no longer live against your own potential, because every great transformation begins with someone becoming tired of their own excuses, tired of delaying, tired of hiding, tired of blaming, tired of watching life pass while their dream waits inside them. At some point, you must become tired enough to change. Not tired in a weak way, tired in a powerful way. Tired of betraying yourself, tired of starting and stopping, tired of giving your energy to things that do not build you, tired of letting fear make your life smaller, tired of waking up with the same dream and the same excuses. That kind of tired can become sacred because it wakes you up. It makes you say, enough, enough waiting, enough complaining, enough living below what I know I can become. Enough letting other people's doubt decide how far I go. Enough treating my dream like a fantasy when it is asking for discipline. That word can change your life. Enough. And after enough, action must follow. Because emotion without action fades. But emotion turned into discipline becomes transformation. So do not only feel inspired by this moment. Use this moment. Use it to make one clear decision. Decide what must change. Decide what habit must end. Decide what distraction must lose access to you. Decide what promise you must keep. Decide what version of yourself can no longer lead your life. Then move. Not tomorrow. Now. Because the old you becomes weaker every time you choose the new you, and the new you becomes stronger every time you act like the person you are becoming. This is how rebuilding happens. Quietly, seriously, repeatedly. You do not rebuild your life by hating yourself. You rebuild your life by taking responsibility for yourself. There is a difference. Self-hate says, I am worthless. Responsibility says, I can become better. Self-hate keeps you stuck in shame. Responsibility gives you a path. Self-hate looks backward and punishes. Responsibility looks forward and builds. So do not use your past as a weapon against yourself. Use it as a teacher. Every mistake can teach you. Every failure can sharpen you. Every regret can wake you up. Every painful season can show you what must never be repeated. Nothing is wasted if you learn from it. The old you made mistakes, yes, but the old you also survived long enough for the new you to rise. So do not spend your life destroying yourself with guilt. Stand up, take the lesson, carry the wisdom, leave the shame, and begin again. Beginning again is not weakness. Beginning again is courage, especially when you have failed before, especially when people watched you fall, especially when you are afraid of disappointing yourself again. It takes strength to return. It takes humility to start over. It takes faith to believe that this time can be different if you become different. And that is the key. Do not just start again with the same mindset. Start again with a new standard. Start again with a clearer plan. Start again with more discipline. Start again with less noise. Start again with stronger boundaries. Start again with the lessons you earned through pain. This time, do not only chase the dream, build the person who can sustain it, because success without character is dangerous. A big dream without discipline can collapse. A powerful opportunity without preparation can be wasted. A new life without a new identity can pull you back into old patterns. That is why the inner work matters. Your habits matter. Your environment matters. Your patience matters. Your emotional control matters. Your ability to stay consistent when nobody is checking matters. These things are not small. They are the foundation, and a dream without foundation cannot stand for long. So build the foundation. Build it in silence. Build it through routine. Build it through sacrifice. Build it through truth. Tell yourself the truth about where you are. Tell yourself the truth about what is holding you back. Tell yourself the truth about what you keep avoiding. Tell yourself the truth about the habits you keep pretending are harmless. Truth may hurt, but truth also frees you. You cannot change what you refuse to face. If you keep lying to yourself, you will keep repeating the same life. But when you face the truth, you regain power. You can say, "This is where I am, but this is not where I will stay." That sentence is powerful because it accepts reality without surrendering to it. Yes, you may be behind, but you can move. Yes, you may lack support, but you can build strength. Yes, you may have failed before, but you can learn. Yes, the road may be hard, but hard does not mean impossible. Hard only means you must become stronger, and becoming stronger is the whole point. If the path was easy, it would not transform you. If everyone believed in you, you might never develop inner belief. If every door opened immediately, you might never develop patience. If success came without struggle, you might never develop character. So do not hate the hard road. The hard road may be where your strongest self is born. It may be where your weak excuses die. It may be where your focus sharpens. It may be where your identity changes. It may be where you learn that you are capable of more than you thought. The road is not only taking you to the dream. The road is building the person who can live the dream. So keep walking, even when it is slow, even when it is lonely, even when nobody understands why you still care. Because one day the lonely road will make sense. One day the discipline will make sense. One day the sacrifices will make sense. One day the rejection will make sense. One day the silence will make sense. One day you will stand inside a life that once existed only inside your imagination, and you will realize something beautiful. You did not just receive that life. You became the kind of person who could create it. That is the reward, not just the dream, the transformation, the strength, the self-respect, the proof that you did not quit on yourself. And when you reach that point, you will not look back with hatred toward the people who did not support you. You will look back with understanding. They could not see it because it was not their vision. They could not carry it because it was not their calling. They could not believe in it because they were not the ones assigned to build it. It was yours. And because it was yours, you had to protect it. You had to fight for it. You had to believe when belief was lonely. You had to continue when motivation died. You had to become disciplined when support was missing. You had to build a life strong enough to answer every doubt without saying a word. That is what you are doing now. Every day you continue, you are answering doubt. Every day you improve, you are answering fear. Every day you refuse to quit, you are answering the old version of yourself that said you could not change. So do not underestimate today. Today matters. This hour matters. This decision matters. The next small action matters. Because your future is not built in some distant magical moment. It is built through what you repeatedly choose when nobody is forcing you. That is where your power lives. In the choice, you can choose focus. You can choose discipline. You can choose patience. You can choose courage. You can choose to return. You can choose to keep fighting. And no, choosing once will not change everything. But choosing again and again will. That is how ordinary days become extraordinary lives. That is how invisible effort becomes visible success. That is how a person nobody believed in becomes someone nobody can ignore. So fight for the life you prayed for. Not with panic, not with desperation, not with bitterness. Fight with discipline. Fight with patience. Fight with faith in your own ability to grow. Fight with the quiet strength of someone who knows their future is worth the effort. And when it feels heavy, remember why you started. Remember the version of you who cried quietly, but still hoped. Remember the dreams you kept hidden because people made you feel foolish. Remember the life you imagined when nobody was watching. Remember the pain of staying the same. Remember the feeling of knowing you were made for more. Let that memory pull you forward. Because the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret can last for years. One day you will either look back and say, I gave everything I had, or you will look back and wonder what could have happened if you had truly fought. Do not create that regret. Do not let your dream become a painful memory of what you almost became. Do not let the life you could have built become a question that follows you forever. Fight now. Build now, change now, become now. Even if the world is silent, even if support is missing, even if you are tired, even if the results are not yet visible, keep fighting until the evidence appears. Keep fighting until your habits change. Keep fighting until your mind becomes stronger. Keep fighting until your life begins to reflect the person you are becoming in private. And when the life you prayed for finally becomes real, you will understand that it did not happen in one moment. It happened every time you refused to quit, every time you chose discipline, every time you turned pain into progress, every time you believed without proof, every time you kept moving while nobody supported you. That is how dreams become real, not by waiting for the world to believe, but by becoming the kind of person who keeps building anyway. So stand firm. The journey is not over. The dream is not dead. The future is not closed. The old you may be tired, afraid, and full of excuses, but the new you is rising, and the new you does not need everyone to clap. The new you does not need perfect conditions. The new you does not need the past to be easy. The new you only needs one thing: a decision to keep going, a decision to stop abandoning yourself, a decision to fight for the life you prayed for, until it is no longer just a dream in your heart, but a reality in your hands. So keep fighting, keep building, keep becoming, because the dream that survived this long inside you deserves to see the light, and the person you are becoming deserves to live the life you once thought was impossible. 9. Walk alone until your dream starts walking with you. There is a lonely season every dreamer must face, not because they are cursed, not because they are forgotten, not because their dream is wrong, but because some journeys require silence before they reveal their meaning. You may look around and wonder why nobody is walking with you. You may wonder why the people you expected to support you are quiet. You may wonder why the ones who said they cared do not understand the thing that matters most to your heart. And that loneliness can become heavy. It can make you question yourself. It can make you think, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I should choose a smaller dream. Maybe I should become easier to understand. But sometimes the road becomes lonely because your dream is trying to separate you from the noise that would have destroyed your focus. Not everyone can walk with you in the beginning. Some people only love you when you are familiar. They love the version of you they can predict. They love the version of you that does not make them uncomfortable. They love the version of you that stays within the limits they understand. But when you start reaching for something greater, they may not know how to respond. Your ambition may confuse them. Your discipline may irritate them. Your silence may make them feel distant from you. Your growth may remind them that they stopped growing. So they step back, they doubt, they criticize, they become quiet, and you are left alone with your dream. But this is not the end. This is the beginning of your inner strength. Because walking alone teaches you something support can never teach you. It teaches you how serious you really are. When nobody is clapping, do you still work? When nobody is checking on you, do you still show up? When nobody understands, do you still believe? When nobody is walking beside you, do you still move forward? That is the test. Many people say they want a dream until the dream asks them to walk alone for a while. They want the result, but they do not want the isolation. They want success, but they do not want the season where nobody sees the work. They want respect, but they do not want the lonely discipline that builds it. But every powerful life has a hidden chapter, a chapter nobody saw, a chapter full of quiet effort, private battles, delayed results, and invisible growth. That chapter may not look beautiful while you are living it. It may feel slow. It may feel unfair. It may feel like you are giving everything and receiving nothing. But do not underestimate what lonely seasons can build inside you. Loneliness can build focus. Loneliness can build patience. Loneliness can build emotional strength. Loneliness can build self-trust. Loneliness can teach you that your dream must be stronger than your need for company. This does not mean you should hate people. This does not mean you should become cold. This does not mean you should pretend you never need encouragement. It simply means you must stop making support the condition for your progress. If they support you, keep going. If they do not support you, keep going. If they understand, keep going. If they misunderstand, keep going. If they walk with you, keep going. If you must walk alone, keep going, because the dream is still yours. The responsibility is still yours. The future is still yours. And if you stop every time people are absent, then your future will always be controlled by their presence. You must become free from that. You must become the kind of person who can continue even when the room is empty. Because one day, if you keep walking, something powerful happens. Your dream begins to walk with you. At first, the dream feels like something far away, something you imagine, something you hope for, something you carry quietly in your chest. But when you give it enough discipline, enough time, enough sacrifice, and enough daily action, it starts becoming real. You begin to see small signs. Your skill improves. Your mind becomes sharper. Your confidence becomes calmer. Your habits become stronger. Your old excuses begin to lose power. Your identity begins to shift. And slowly, the dream is no longer just a thought. It becomes a presence in your life. It becomes the reason you wake up differently. It becomes the reason you choose better. It becomes the reason you say no to distractions. It becomes the reason you protect your energy. It becomes the reason you keep fighting when your emotions are weak. That is when you realize you were never truly alone. Your future was walking with you in invisible form. Every disciplined choice was bringing it closer. Every silent sacrifice was shaping it. Every lonely night was preparing you to receive it. Every rejection was teaching you not to abandon it. The dream was not absent. It was being built. But to reach that stage, you must survive the early silence. You must survive the season where nobody sees what you are becoming. You must survive the stage where people judge your seed because they cannot imagine the tree. You must survive the beginning, because the beginning is where most people quit. They quit before the roots grow. They quit before the first real result. They quit before their effort has enough time to become evidence. They quit because the silence feels like failure. But silence is not failure. Silence is often the sound of foundation being built. A building makes noise when people see it rising, but the foundation is laid before the world notices anything. Nobody celebrates the ground being prepared. Nobody claps for the hidden structure. Nobody praises the unseen work that makes the visible success possible. But without it, nothing stands. Your lonely season is foundation work. Your private discipline is foundation work. Your quiet learning is foundation work. Your small daily effort is foundation work. Your emotional battles are foundation work. Your ability to return after failure is foundation work. So do not hate the part of your journey that nobody sees. That may be the part that saves you later. Because when success comes, it brings pressure. When doors open, they bring responsibility. When people notice you, they bring opinions. When results appear, they bring expectations. If you have no foundation, attention can break you. But if you used your lonely season correctly, you will be ready. You will not be addicted to applause because you already learned how to work without it. You will not collapse under criticism because you already learned how to grow through doubt. You will not lose yourself in success because you already built self-respect in silence. You will not need everyone to believe because you already became proof to yourself. That is why the lonely road matters. It removes the weakness of needing constant validation. It teaches you to become steady, and steadiness is rare. Most people are controlled by moods. They move when they feel inspired. They stop when they feel ignored. They rise when people praise them. They fall when people criticize them. Their dream is always at the mercy of outside reactions. But you cannot build something great that way. You need a deeper power. You need inner loyalty. Inner loyalty means you stay committed to your dream even when your emotions change. It means you do not betray your future just because today feels difficult. It means you keep choosing the path even when nobody sees the point yet. It means you become someone your dream can trust. Ask yourself that question. Can your dream trust you? Can it trust you to show up when things are boring? Can it trust you to keep working when support is missing? Can it trust you to protect your focus when distractions become tempting? Can it trust you to return after failure instead of disappearing? Can it trust you to stop making excuses and start making progress? Because your dream is not only waiting for you to want it, it is waiting to see if you will become loyal to it. Loyalty is not proven when everything is easy. Loyalty is proven when quitting would make sense, but you continue anyway. Loyalty is proven when nobody would blame you for stopping, but you still choose to rise. Loyalty is proven when the dream costs more than you expected, and you still say, I am not done. This is the level where your life changes, not because everything around you suddenly becomes perfect, but because something inside you becomes unshakable. You stop needing easy conditions. You stop needing constant support. You stop needing everyone to understand your process. You learn how to carry the dream through storms. And when a person can carry their dream through storms, they become powerful. They become dangerous to their old excuses, dangerous to their old limits, dangerous to the version of themselves that used to quit too easily. This is the kind of danger you need, not anger, not bitterness, not ego, but a quiet refusal to abandon what you know you are meant to build. There will be days when you feel forgotten. Keep walking. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. Keep walking. There will be days when other people seem to move faster. Keep walking. There will be days when your mind tells you that you are wasting time. Keep walking. Because every person who ever built something meaningful had to pass through moments where the dream looked impossible from the outside, but they kept walking, and that is why they crossed the distance between imagination and reality. You must cross that distance too. Nobody can walk it for you. People can encourage you, but they cannot become disciplined for you. People can advise you, but they cannot take action for you. People can open a door, but they cannot make you ready to walk through it. At the deepest level, your dream is between you and the person you are becoming. That is why you must stop being afraid of walking alone. Walking alone does not mean you are failing. Sometimes it means you are being trained to hear your own voice again. When too many people are around you, their opinions can become your direction. Their fear can become your hesitation. Their limits can become your ceiling. Their approval can become your addiction. But when you walk alone, you begin to hear what you really want. You begin to see what truly matters. You begin to understand which parts of you were built from pressure and which parts were built from purpose. You begin to meet yourself, and meeting yourself is powerful because many people spend their entire lives avoiding themselves. They stay busy, distracted, entertained, and surrounded because silence would force them to face the truth. They would have to admit what they really want. They would have to admit what they keep avoiding. They would have to admit how much time they have wasted pretending they are not capable of more. But you cannot become great while hiding from yourself. You must face yourself. Face the excuses. Face the fear. Face the laziness. Face the patterns. Face the dreams you keep delaying. Face the fact that nobody is coming to give you the perfect moment. And once you face the truth, do not use it to punish yourself. Use it to build. Say, this is where I am, but this is not where I will remain. Say, I have wasted time, but I will not waste my future. Say, I have failed before, but I can return with wisdom. Say, I may be walking alone now, but I am walking towards something real. That is how you reclaim your power. You reclaim it by refusing to let your current situation become your final identity. You may be unsupported, but you are not powerless. You may be misunderstood, but you are not lost. You may be behind, but you are not finished. You may be tired, but you are not defeated. You may be alone, but you are not empty. The dream inside you is still alive. And as long as it is alive, there is still something to fight for. But you must protect it. A dream can die from neglect, not always from failure, not always from rejection, not always from criticism. Sometimes a dream dies because the person carrying it keeps delaying. They keep saying, tomorrow. They keep saying, when I feel ready. They keep saying, when people support me. They keep saying, when life becomes easier, and slowly the dream becomes weaker, not because it was impossible, but because it was not fed. Dreams are fed by action. A dream you never act on becomes pain. A dream you act on becomes direction. So feed your dream. Feed it with time. Feed it with focus. Feed it with study. Feed it with practice. Feed it with patience. Feed it with sacrifice. Feed it with consistency. Even if you can only take one small step today, take it. A small step is not small when it keeps the dream alive. 1 page matters. 1 hour matters. 1 decision matters. 1 honest effort matters. 1 refusal to quit matters. You do not need to conquer the entire mountain today. You just need to stop walking away from it. That is the mistake many people make. They look at the size of the dream and become overwhelmed. They think, it is too far. It is too big. It will take too long, so they do nothing. But time will pass anyway. The months will pass. The years will pass. The question is not whether time will move. The question is whether you will move with it. Imagine where you could be 1 year from now if you stopped waiting for support and started building with discipline. Imagine what could change if you gave your dream 1 serious hour every day. Imagine what could happen if you stopped feeding distractions and started feeding your future. Imagine how different your life could feel if you became loyal to progress instead of comfort. That future is not impossible, but it requires today's decision, and then tomorrow's decision, and then the next one. This is how you walk alone until the dream starts walking with you. You do not wait until the path feels easy. You make the path real by walking it. You do not wait until confidence appears. You build confidence by keeping promises to yourself. You do not wait until people believe. You build belief by proving to yourself that you can continue. You do not wait until fear disappears. You carry fear with you and move anyway. Every step matters because every step changes you. At first, the journey may feel like punishment. Later, you realize it was preparation. At first, silence may feel like abandonment. Later, you realize it was protection. At first, being alone may feel like weakness. Later, you realize it built your independence. At first, doubt may feel like a wall. Later, you realize it became your training ground. This is why you must not judge your journey too early. You may be in the chapter where nothing makes sense yet. You may be in the chapter where the work is heavy and the results are small. You may be in the chapter where people do not understand why you keep trying. You may be in the chapter where you are still becoming. Do not quit in that chapter. The story is not finished. You have not seen what your discipline can produce. You have not seen what your consistency can become. You have not seen what doors may open after the season of preparation. You have not seen the person you will become if you refuse to stop. So keep going, keep walking, keep building, even if nobody is beside you right now. One day the dream will stop feeling distant. One day the habits will start to feel natural. One day the work will begin to show. One day the confidence will be real. One day the people who doubted you will not understand how you became so different. And you will know. You became different because you kept walking when the road was lonely. You became different because you stopped waiting for the crowd. You became different because you learned to support yourself through action. You became different because you chose the dream even when the dream had not yet rewarded you. That is faith in motion, not just believing with your words, believing with your discipline, believing with your patience, believing with your daily choices, believing enough to keep going before the evidence appears. That kind of belief creates power. It turns an unsupported person into a self-driven person. It turns a doubted dreamer into a disciplined builder. It turns loneliness into focus. It turns silence into strength. It turns an ordinary life into proof that transformation is possible. So do not be afraid if you are walking alone right now. Use the road, use the silence, use the absence of support, use the discomfort, use everything. Let the lonely road teach you how to become your own foundation. Let it teach you how to stand. Let it teach you how to move. Let it teach you how to keep promises to yourself. Let it teach you how to become loyal to the future, even when the present feels empty. Because the day will come when you will need the strength this season is building. You will need the patience. You will need the focus. You will need the emotional control. You will need the quiet confidence. You will need the ability to keep going without being praised. And when that day comes, you will not regret the lonely road. You will thank it. You will realize it did not break you. It built the part of you that could not be built in comfort. It taught you how to carry yourself. It taught you how to believe without witnesses. It taught you how to become serious. And seriousness is the beginning of real change. A serious person does not need everything to be perfect. A serious person does not need everyone to agree. A serious person does not let a bad day become a dead dream. A serious person understands that the life they want is built through the choices they repeat. So become serious, not tense, not bitter, not angry at the world. Serious about your time, serious about your focus, serious about your habits, serious about your standards, serious about becoming the person your dream requires. Because when you become serious, your life begins to organize around your future. You stop wasting your best energy on meaningless things. You stop explaining yourself to people who are not building anything. You stop letting temporary feelings make permanent decisions. You stop treating your dream like entertainment and start treating it like responsibility. That shift is powerful. It changes how you wake up. It changes how you spend your time. It changes what you tolerate. It changes who has access to your mind. It changes what you do when nobody is watching. And that is where destiny begins to move. In the unseen decisions, in the private discipline, in the lonely consistency, in the moments where you choose the dream over the old pattern. So walk alone if you must, but do not walk without purpose. Walk with your head clear. Walk with your heart steady. Walk with your standards rising. Walk with your actions aligned. Walk like someone who understands that this season is not forever, but what it builds inside you can last forever. And when the dream starts becoming real, do not forget the road that shaped you. Do not forget the nights you almost quit. Do not forget the silence that taught you strength. Do not forget the doubt that sharpened your focus. Do not forget the loneliness that made you independent. Do not forget the version of yourself who kept walking when nobody knew how hard it was. That version deserves respect, because that version carried you when there was no applause. That version kept believing when belief was lonely. That version fought for the life you had not yet touched. And now, because of that version, the dream can finally begin to walk beside you. So continue, even if your steps are slow, even if your heart is tired, even if the path is quiet, even if nobody understands yet. Walk alone until your discipline becomes your companion. Walk alone until your confidence becomes real. Walk alone until your dream becomes visible. Walk alone until the future you prayed for starts meeting you on the road. Because sometimes the greatest proof of your dream is not who walks with you in the beginning. It is who you become when you refuse to stop walking. And in the end, remember this: the dream you are carrying was never meant to be understood by everyone. Some people will laugh because they cannot see it. Some people will leave because they cannot walk with it. Some people will doubt because they cannot imagine the version of you that is coming. But none of that means you should stop. It only means you must become stronger than the noise around you. So keep fighting when nobody claps. Keep building when nobody supports you. Keep believing when nobody understands. Because one day the dream they doubted will become the life you are living, and the person they ignored will become the proof they can no longer deny. Do not quit in the season that is building you. Do not bury the vision just because others cannot see it. Do not let temporary loneliness destroy a future that could change your entire life. Your dream is still alive. Your future is still calling. And the strongest version of you is still waiting on the other side of your discipline. So walk alone if you must. Work in silence if you must. Believe harder if you must. But never stop fighting for the life you were born to build. Because the world does not need to believe in you first. You do.